Good morning, everyone, and welcome back to Coffee and Headlines, our daily get-together live here on Facebook every day of the week, 7 days a week, 10:30 in the morning, where we take a look at current headlines, topics, questions, suggestions, all kinds of ideas, and questions, and just stuff, chingaderas, that can help us enjoy our lives in a more fulfilling way here in Puerto Vallarta as a community of English-speaking folks. Let me mute that extra microphone, which was on. I don't know exactly why. Oh, I see why. Never mind that. So it is great to be here, as in every morning. Today is March 8th. It is a Monday, so that means that today is our newly instituted Music Mondays, and today's Music Monday is going to be just awesome. I just know it. I know, oh my God, I know that Michael is going to appreciate that. Because it has to do with singing. And Michael is a singer. So I think it's going to be wonderful. Jill says, microphone, what's going on? I think I just solved it, Jill, if I didn't just slap me virtually or something. Anyhow, this is what we do. We get together every day to try to make the best of the time that we have, the life that we have, the surroundings that we have. And if you are new to these broadcasts, just let us know by writing the word new in your comment, and we will be so very happy to give you a proper welcome. Dale asks, what is the Spanish word for good-looking construction worker? We are having a discussion here and could not remember. You mean the one that we use to compliment on their physique? That would be a chacal. Yes, chacal? Yes, a chacal. Yes, a chacal. C-H-A-C-A-L. That is the word. And thank God for them. They're beautiful to look at. And yesterday we were talking about taco de ojo eye candy. So that is a great eye candy to enjoy. Let me see who's around today so that we can continue with our day. Dave Schwartz is in the house. Fluvial is in the house. Versalles is in the house. Kathleen. Kathleen, I am so glad that you're here. There's a lot of nutritious soul food coming up very, very shortly. Let's see. Southwest Florida is in the house. Hello, Bev. It's great to see you. Anaheim is in the house. Let's see who else is here. You guys are all so awesome for being here. There's a bunch of friends that I recognize, and this is absolutely wonderful. Angelo is in the house. Good morning. San Diego is in the house. Look at this. People from all over the world. This is so groovy. We absolutely love this. And yes, Michael, today is Music Monday, and I can see another fan. I love it. Boom, ba-ding, pum, 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 pum. Troy says, it must be a ton of work to produce a show every day, and it is much appreciated. It is much appreciated. You make morning great. Thank you very much, Troy. You know what? The truth is, it is a lot of work. But the truth is that anything that is worth doing takes a lot of work. I mean, if I've had a different job, I would put a lot into it, and I think that's just the nature of the beast. I mean, it's a lot more fun when you really do things with intention. Whether you are a cab driver, or you are the manager of an OXXO store, or you are the president of a country. So it is a good thing. Matthew is here. Matthew, I am so glad that you're here. If your ears buzzed last night, it is because I was high as a kite putting together today's show. And oh my God, yes, I did say that. I was very happy last night. I just had a wonderful night of musical insight, and I am so very happy to share that with you. Another Chacal fan. Good for you, Jose Luis. It's good to know that. We're not alone. Jody asks, do I play any instruments? Why, of course I do. I play the kazoo. And aside from the kazoo, I play the piano, and I sing, and I play the recorder occasionally. And I have a couple of ocarinas, and I drive Luna crazy whenever I play them. And that's just my life. Let's see who else is here. Everybody's here. Ola from New Westminster, says Margaret Barrett. Well, anyhow, we're here. We're getting ready to go, and we might as well get done with the news, because we have lots of music stuff to share today. The news are important, of course, but I'm itching to get to the music, so let's go. A new batch of COVID-19 vaccines for seniors has arrived in Nayarit. This is in addition to the ones that were announced late last week. Yesterday, 9,750 doses of the Pfizer COVID vaccine arrived in the state to be distributed in the municipality of Compostela, according to Nayarit Governor Antonio Echevarria. This news item also features the same registration points in Bahia de Banderas for seniors in our neighboring municipality that are looking to register for their vaccine. Registration starts today. So again, if you are in points north of Puerto Vallarta within the bay, and you are 60 years or older and you're getting ready to get your vaccine, this article, in which you can find in the show notes, will let you know where you need to go. And it is all starting today. And then we have some political news. In recent days, we announced that Puerto Vallarta Director of Culture, Marina de los Santos, asked for a leave of absence from her job to run for city mayor. This was confirmed this morning by the recently formed political party Hagamos Jalisco, which translates to a very sexy "Let's do it, Jalisco." And aside from Marina de los Santos' name, we also learned that Macedonio Leon Rodriguez Avalos from the local campus for the Guadalajara University was confirmed as a local deputy candidate. As I understand it, Hagamos Jalisco is a state-based political party that is looking to offer an alternative to the existing traditional parties. It is properly registered with the Electoral Institute in Mexico, and we will have to wait and see what they bring to the table. And believe it or not, I went looking for other kinds of formal news, and this is what I could find. So this is what we get today. Let me take, let's see what is going on. Let me take a look at your comments. Can you also smoke weed in your flout? It looks like a pipe. No, I cannot, Jose Luis. It is a musical instrument. If I smoked weed out of it, I would ruin it. But don't worry, I have pipes. We have pipes in the house, so it is a good thing. Let me see. Ba-ding, ba-boom, ba-boom. I think we're good. Let me switch over to the weather. What do you mean, no volume? Oh, good Lord. Troy, it's nothing I said. I think we have volume. So please check your settings. And oh, yes, of course, thank you very much. Today is International Day of Woman, or Woman's Day. That was a magazine, if I recall. Let us hope that this is not only a celebration, but more of an awareness of the importance of keeping Suzanne. Oh my God! Not only are you in town, but you're here for Music Monday, which makes me very happy. I think you're going to like this one. So stick around, stick around. Anyhow, International Day of the Woman is a good thing. In Mexico, our president said early this morning that we are in debt to women in Mexico, and I'm glad that he's acknowledging it. Let us hope that this is something that makes important changes for women. I'm a little distracted because I see that some of you are having problems with volume. Linda Hickey also reported it. I don't believe it's something I'm doing, but I hope it's not a general thing. And if you're having problems with the audio, I am very sorry, and I hope that it'll restore itself on its own. Now, let's take a quick look at the weather. And the weather tells us to enjoy the sun while it lasts. The weather says I'll be covering it with an advertisement for a freemium game next week. Whatever. Our weather is 27 degrees Celsius, which would be kind of like 81 degrees Fahrenheit. Humidity is at a 50%, which is not bad at all. Weather for today is going to be clear through the day with a high temperature of 31, low temperature 19. Tomorrow we can expect another clear day with a high temperature of 30, low temperature 19. And the same thing for Wednesday, high temperature of 30, low temperature 18, and a beautiful clear day, which is something that I very much enjoy. I have one more news item that I want to share with you before we dive into our music adventure of the day. And this is kind of repetitious, but it is, I suppose it is worth mentioning. The hotel industry in town has been so desperate to make things happen. And apparently, anticipation for Semana Santa is on the rise among local hotels, according to Luis Villaseñor, who's the director for Puerto Vallarta's Tourism Bureau. Puerto Vallarta can expect a very prosperous Semana Santa and Semana Pascua because there is an increasing number of reservations being made at local hotels. I think that is awesome for anyone that works directly with tourism because, it brings all kinds of economic prosperity. As a local, of course, I am going to take the opportunity to do what I've been doing for the last year, staying at home. And in this particular scenario, of course, allowing for people that come and enjoy our destination to enjoy a well-deserved vacation, and that is a good thing. So that brings us very quickly to let's see, what is the verb root source of hagamos when you have a moment? Well, Liz, I don't know what the verb root or source of hagamos when you have a moment. I can tell you that it is written with an H at the beginning, and I don't know where it comes from. I really don't. I could make it up or I could look it up, but right now we're in the middle of something. So I suggest that you look it up on Google yourself. Meanwhile, let us get started. I think we are about ready to launch into Music Monday. Let me put everything in order and let's see what happens next. I think we're good. I think we have audio. I think I plugged everything in. I say, let's go. Welcome to Music Monday. As always, we will have links to all the performances mentioned here in the show notes. Now, without intending to ruffle the feathers of the YouTube's copyright gods, I'd like to start by sharing a brief musical and audio and video clip from the 1939 Samuel Goldwyn film, They Shall Have Music. Check it out. And there you go. Now, about this film, we will concern ourselves with only two things today. Number one, who was playing the violin? And number two, why was he playing what he was playing? Well, that's easy. For starters, we know that the man playing the violin was Joshua Heifetz, who was born in 1901. He died in 1987. He was a Russian-American violinist with a very successful lifelong performing career. In this particular film, he plays himself stepping in to save a music school for poor children from foreclosure. And subsequently, in his life, he performed in other films and other TV projects only to increase his worldwide acclaim. So that takes care of point number one. That was Joshua Heifetz. And now that brings us to point number two. What was he playing? Well, he was playing a song titled Estrellita, which means little star. And that's the name of the song. So what do we actually know about this song? Well, I have a surprise for you. The song Estrellita was composed by our dear friend, Mexican composer Manuel Ponce. We just talked about him yesterday, and we discussed his song A la orilla de un palmar. And I figured, well, we might as well continue on the Manuel Ponce ride and continue discussing this extraordinary Mexican composer. But that begs the question, how did the song and the violinist Heifetz cross paths, and when? How did this happen? How could this Russian-American violinist discover this treasured Mexican song by Manuel Ponce? Well, it so happens that when he used to go on world tour, Jascha Heifetz liked to include music on the program by a composer of the country in which he was performing. And in 1923, he was in Mexico City, and that would be him in the middle of that photograph with those two other Mexican mariachi-looking guys. So he was in Mexico City. He realized he did not know any works by a Mexican composer. So he figured, what am I to do? So he was sitting at a cafe, and again, remember, 1923. He's sitting at a cafe, and he heard a local musician sing a popular song. That song happened to be Estrellita by Manuel Ponce. So he was instantly smitten with the song. So he figured, oh my God, I have to play this. So he took notes on his napkin, literally as in transcribing the song on the spot. And when I say notes on a napkin for a musician, is he picked up a pen or a pencil, we don't know, and he actually probably had to draw the score, the 5 lines of a music score, to notate the notes as they were going by on the spot. So that same day, that night actually, he composed his own arrangement for violin and piano based on the song. And eventually, Estrellita became one of his favorite encores. And of course, we know that encore is the fancy word for otra, 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 which is what we say in Mexico when we want to hear another song performed by someone. So this is not only the story of how he discovered the song, but of course, he went on to feature the song on the film that I just showed you 16 years later. And this in turn brought Manuel Ponce much success and renown around the world. Now, just as it was the case with the song we listened to yesterday, A la orilla de un palmar, Estrellita, as composed by Manuel Ponce, had lyrics. Ponce wrote both the music and the lyrics for the song. So let us find out what this song is all about. Now, Estrellita has 2 verses, and here is the first one. Estrellita del lejano cielo, que miras mi dolor, que sabes mi sufrir. Those are the first 3 lines, and that means, little star from the faraway sky, you look at my pain, you know of my suffering. And then the song continues by saying, baja y dime si me quiere un poco, porque yo no puedo sin su amor vivir. And that means come down from the sky, come down from the stars, and tell me if he loves me or she loves me, even just a little bit. Si me quiere un poco is a beautiful phrase because it is genderless. So this could be, we don't know if the character of the song is a man or a woman. He or she just wants to know if he is loved by his or her spouse, even just a little bit, porque yo no puedo sin su amor vivir, because I cannot live without his or her love. Boom, that's just beautiful. And then the second verse continues, tú eres estrella, mi faro de amor, tú sabes que pronto he de morir. You are my beacon of love, dear star. You know that I shall die soon. Oops. And then the last half of the second verse repeats the second half of the first verse. Please come down and tell me if he loves me even just a little bit, because I cannot live without his love. So, that's the song. Now, did this song make sense to you? Were the song's intentions clear? Let us bring out a very helpful common device which I learned in music production when I studied music production. And we're going to call this device the 3 W's. And the 3 W's are who is singing to whom about what? Well, we know that he or she is singing to a little star. So we've resolved the first 2 W's. And what does he want, or what is he singing about? Well, he or she is desperate to know if love is in the air. So this is a nice, wonderful formula that helps you, or helps me in a lot of instances, to get into what music is about, what songs are about, and how nice to see a song that is clear in intention. And this who's singing to whom about what can be applied to songs, to books that you read, to plays that you watch, to opera that you enjoy, to a film. If a director, a producer, a composer, a writer, or a playwright doesn't have these 3 W's figured out, then it's going to be a project by a Kardashian, maybe. I don't know. What do I know? So anyhow, excuse me. Lots of talking makes me cough, and I hope you're enjoying this. Anyhow, let us now put all these lyrics together with the music that we heard a little bit about. We put this together, and I'm going to tell you ahead of time that 90% of all the magic in this song, 90% of all the magic in this song happens on the very first phrase. Estrellita del lejano cielo. That is 4 words, and all the magic, practically all the magic, happens in this phrase. Why? Well, we know that that this character is. Do I have it here? Yes, I have it here in big letters so that you can see the phrase. So, why do I say that this is like the most important thing? Well, our character is singing to a star that happens to be far away. Estrellita del lejano cielo. Now, how do you represent far away in music? If you're a composer and you're talking about something that is far away, how do you do that with music? It could probably be with a very long note, like far away. Or it could be with a very long note that has a descending melody, like far. Or it could be, using a faraway note, literally, meaning that you use a note in the range of the instrument that is far from the other, like far, 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 far. You could be a very different pitch. I suppose you could also put the singer in the back of the theater where nobody would hear him or her, and that would be far away. But let us find out what Manuel M. Ponce does with the first phrase to represent this business of the star being far away. And let's listen to this with the advanced knowledge that 90% of all the magic you're hear in this song will happen in this clip that we're going to listen to now. Wow, what was that? Well, for starters, that was Ailyn Pérez. She is a lyric opera soprano in Chicago. This was recorded in October 2020. She is the daughter of Mexican immigrants. She has toured with Andrea Bocelli as the guest soprano and has also shared the international stage with male singers like Plácido Domingo and Rolando Villazón. She's graced the world's most beautiful opera stages. But how did Ponce use music to describe how far away the star was? Oh God, I'm getting goosebumps with this. Well, for starters, he uses a huge musical leap. Da da dee da dee da dee. You know, from da to dee, da da dee da dee da dee. So what is so amazing about that, you may be wondering? Well, let us consider the range of a soprano. And we have it here on the screen. These are voice ranges for different voice types. Here is the soprano. And the soprano, and by range, of course, we mean how low is the lowest note a soprano, in this case, can sing comfortably and without making us squirm a little bit, and what is the highest. Now, the soprano range, we learned from this chart, goes from middle C, or C4, to A6, which is this A, which is high above the treble clef. And that would be the highest range in the soprano's voice. But the first note that we heard in the Ponce, the na da da, the da, that first note is a C sharp, which is only a half a note higher than the soprano's lower range. And that first leap ended up in a G sharp, a G sharp that is only half a note lower than the soprano range. You know, and for those of you that can read music, here is that first phrase. You know, here's that initial C sharp, da 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 da. Frogs on my throat. So that is a huge leap. I mean, the woman has just gotten on the stage, and in less than 2 bars, she's covered her entire vocal range at the beginning of the song. This is kind of like the equivalent of hopping on your Chevy and cranking the pedal to go from 0 to 120 kilometers per hour in less than 5 seconds at the beginning of your drive. I mean, it's that exciting. And I mean that somewhat literally, because as a musician, when you're presented with such a challenge, with such a beautiful phrase, you know, to master it, it is as alluring as, say, when you're driving down a well-designed highway and you approach a long curve and you see ahead of time how much fun it's going to be to drive your car through that curve. Or it could be just as awesome as when you are a surfer and you're in the water and all of a sudden you see this huge wave approaching you, and you just know that you're going to have to ride that wave. And if you ride it and come back from it, it's just a great experience. One other thing that we can notice, and this is very subtle, but I think it's very important, this high note that we just heard, the highest note, is the longest note that we've heard in the song so far. So that is another way in which Manuel M. Ponce tells us that the star is far away. Not only is the star far away high in the register, but it's also long. The note is long. So this is how a musician very intelligently interprets the lyrics in the song. So what comes next in the song? Let's find out. The song continues after Estrellita de lejano cielo, que miras mi dolor, que sabes mi sufrir. This, of course, we know is, we've heard that this means that you, the faraway star, you can see my pain, you know about my suffering. And then right after that comes the fourth line. And this fourth line is the what of the song. This is the meat and potatoes. Baja y dime si me quiere un poco. This is what the character of the song wants the most. She or he wants for that star to come down from the heavens and discuss, or reveal rather, whether he or she is very well loved by this person. So this is the meat and potatoes of the entire song. This is the character's quest. Let's listen to this phrase along with the previous two. Now here's the what of the song. Whoa! Whoa, what just happened? In the very first line, she had sung da da dee da dee da da. And now she just sung da da dee da dee da da. A higher note. An even higher note than when we heard before. How much higher? Well, the song went up to an A sharp, which is an additional whole step higher than the previous note. And this new note is a half a step higher than the upper range of a soprano, which means that not just any soprano can gracefully deliver that leap. And of course, this is the most important part of the song. You know, the character wants to know, you know, am I loved or am I not loved? And then what happens next? Let's take a look. This is what happens next. Come down and tell me if he loves me even just a little bit. That's the high phrase we just heard. Because I cannot live without his love. Let's listen to this section and let us notice how at the end of the phrase, how the singer's expression changes when she gets to the phrase, sin su amor vivir, or cannot live without his love. Here. Oh my God. I mean, she is just full of love. And at the end of the phrase, she takes her hands and looks up. She's actually pleading to that star. And this kind of subtlety is what makes the difference between ordinary and extraordinary music. You break it down into, and I'm sorry I get all excited about this, but this is why I was just so loving my time with my research last night. You take the time to break these fucking things down, excuse the F word, and you can find so much amazing stuff in the music. It's not even funny. So Estrellita does not only have a beautiful melody, one that any musician would die to ride, it also has beautiful lyrics that are nicely interpreted musically by the composer by using a couple of interesting devices here and there, those giant leaps, the intervals, the long notes, or the huge, or the request at the end for the star to come down by a descending melody. Da 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 da. And that almost resembles the star coming down from the heavens, trying to answer the question. Now, of course, you drop this song down an octave, and it's right smack in the center of the range of a tenor. Estrellita de lejano cielo, And that was Mexican tenor Rolando Villazón from his 2021 album titled Mexico. And there have been many, many arrangements of the song throughout times, but the original Heifetz arrangement for violin is the one that is played the most. That was Blake Pouliot on the violin, recorded in October 2017. At only 25 years old, he has been praised by the Toronto Star as one of those special talents that comes along only once in a lifetime. So, just as in the case of the soprano versus the tenor, in the instrumental version, if you take the song down one octave, it is beautiful when performed by a cellist. And that was Biong Tsang on the cello with Lo-Kien Kao on the piano. These are two performers that delivered the song live at Austin City Hall on June 2017. Biong Tsang was born in the United States to Chinese parents. He made his professional debut with the New York Philharmonic Orchestra at age 11, and he has performed internationally as a concerto soloist and recitalist since then. Now, what bonds these two versions that we just heard, the violin and the cello version? Well, it is the Heifetz beautiful arrangement. Now, imagine what happens when that same arrangement gets transformed into a string orchestra version, one performed by a chamber orchestra. And that would be violinist Ray Chen with the Amsterdam Sinfonietta on February 2019. So, different versions, different instruments performing the melody, performed by different performers from many nationalities in different parts around the world, different places. And all of this only because in 98 years ago, in 1923, Heifetz was in Mexico City, sitting at a cafe, wondering what to do, what to play for an encore that evening, and he just happened to listen to someone performing Estrellita by Manuel M. Ponce. And that, my friends, has been our Music Monday offering for today. And I see, we've just been greeted by some junk mail. I love it. We will get rid of that in a little while. Let me take a quick look at some of your comments and suggestions throughout this little exploration of Manuel M. Ponce's music. I sure hope you enjoyed it. Let us see what we have. Boom, 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 boom. Oh, Mexican political parties. I know it gets complicated, and we are going to get busy with deciphering these political parties as we get close to the elections. So romantic, says Paul. Absolutely. I mean, it's just beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Jorge says, when love truly inspired. Yes, that's true. Let's see what else we have here. Oh no, Cepillín died. Oh, this is so sad. Cepillín was a dentist who, in order to not frighten children as patients, he started dressing up as a clown many years ago in Monterrey, the city where I was born. And he dropped dentistry and he continued being a television star. And I'm sorry to hear that he just passed. Dear. Let's see what else we see here. Uh, oh yeah, she is divine, and the singer from the Chicago Opera, she is divine, and her diction is just delicious, delicious. Let's see what else we have. Can you play that first line one more time? It was amazing. I cannot, Elizabeth, but you can rewind and watch the broadcast again as many times as you'd like. Let's see what else we have. Oh, lots of praise. Thank you so very much. Wish you'd been my music teacher in high school. You know, Stephanie, I'll take that as a huge compliment. I guess I am as anxious as many performers to be on stage discussing well, in the case of performing, I just miss so much being in person talking about music. And I just love it. And I'm just itching for the opportunity to be in person again discussing music with dear friends as I enjoy doing it. Thank you for that, Lisa. I'm very grateful to you as a community for allowing me to bring so much music into this experience. And yes, I can't be shy. I really just enjoy this stuff. Boom. Lots of thank yous, lots of thank yous. Paco, will you be posting the links for these performances? I would love to listen some more with my newly enlightened ears. You know, I have such a huge debt to you all because we've done walking tours that we haven't posted separately. We've done a couple of interviews that we haven't posted separately. And now we're starting to do Music Mondays. And now we're going to do Taco Tuesdays. And I do know that I'm indebted to you, or I have a debt to you as a community to post all these things or organize them in an easy to find way. And trust me, I will definitely do that. Let's see what else. Oh, Suzanne, you know, you are always present when I'm thinking music because you and I are music partners. And let's see what else. Oh, Matthew, of course, he chimes in with 2 Heifetz anecdotes. 1934, he played in the very first recital in the Palacio de Bellas Artes with a program which began with the 3rd Brahms violin sonata. And there's a Gershwin song that he wrote for Heifetz. I'm going to have to look for this because I don't know that song. Thank you very much. Let's see. Oh, Kathleen, I'm glad it worked. You are very much with me these days. And this pretty much brings us to, yeah, we're done. Yay, we're done. Another good day. Thank you very much for joining us for Music Mondays. Thank you very much for joining us whenever you join us. It is always a pleasure to be here. I wish you a great beginning of a week. I hope that your week is going to be a lot of fun. I hope you enjoyed today's broadcast. If you did and you found something interesting and meaningful and whatnot, here is the link where you can help us by supporting Coffee and Headlines. Coffee and Headlines is supported by you. Everything that you enjoy here is possible because of you. So if you find it in your life to support us, you can be a member on a monthly basis, on an annual basis. You can buy us coffee, which helps me buy Luna some food and keep us being very happy. So time to go. It's going to be a great day for me. I hope it's going to be a great day for you. And I hope to see you again sometime in the very near future. Thank you for sharing Estrellita with me today.